to you, if Joe had an HR manager that he hired to come in here and clean this motherfucking apartment, Joe might not know who the fuck cleans this apartment.
Something just hit me.
Shoot.
Are you mixed race?
No.
Or are you a bunny hopper?
Yes. Per your hold.
That's why you have a liberal perspective.
That's not true. That's not true.
Got his ass.
That's not true. Yes.
Got him.
But that's not true. I felt this way before I met my white girlfriend.
So help me understand how you could be so passionate about the black.
I'm passionate. I'm an objective thinker. I don't. If something makes sense.
So you have no loyalty to the black community.
No, I do have. I probably employ more blacks than you.
Okay.
Ooh.
So help me understand that you employ more blacks than me, but you go home to a white woman. Why you don't have a black woman?
Because I fell in love with a white woman, not a black.
Why didn't you fall in love with a black woman?
I fell in love with a black woman. We broke up.
Okay. And why didn't you fall in love with another black woman?
I did that too. We broke up.
So I'm gonna say this. Hey, listen, I respect Dr. Umar and I appreciate his work and what he's done, but you're not about to stop me from cracking every color in this Crayola box. I promise you everything getting cracked. But when we're talking about serious relationships though, when we're talking about marriage and interracial marriages, we got to ask the question, who benefits the most off of interracial relationships and marriages? Let's keep rocking out.
Okay. And why didn't you get another one and another one and another one until you found the right one?
Because I met a white woman that I fell in love with, and that's the person that
and
I'm
you're
with
being
today.
disingenuous about
That's not
something.
true.
And let me tell you what you're being disingenuous about.
True.
Romance is a function of focus and opportunity. If I want to date an Asian, I'm going to put myself around Asian women so I can find one. If I want to date a Latino, I'm going to put myself around Latino women so I can date one. If you wanted to marry a black woman, you would have put yourself around black women so you can find one. So how did you end up with the Caucasian? No disrespect to her.
No, not at all. What I'm telling you is the places that I go socially are not just monolithic.
So what? I went to a white college, white job. I never bunny hopped.
Listen to my question. Let me answer you. That wasn't my priority. My priority wasn't, I'm not closed off to dating Latino women. I'm not closed off to dating Asian women. I'm not closed off to dating white women. So again, in my search for romance, all of those things were on the table.
But you do understand that by not being with a black woman, you undermine the success of the black community.
That's your opinion.
That's my opinion. Then tell me how the black community benefits from you having a white woman.
Oh, got him now. And if we look at historically, every time we have a black man that's successful, and let's say he's a black man with status like a celebrity, a ball player, a rapper, what we see is we see these girls who are not of the culture, whether they be YT or whether they be of mixed cultural ethnicities, they obviously elevate after they get done with that rapper or ball player. After they get done with Lil Baby, they're jumping to Anthony Edwards. After they get done with Anthony Edwards, they're jumping to Kanye West. It's the access and proximity of black culture that uplifts a lot of these other cultures who weren't a part of it. And all I'm saying is, being 13% of America and last on the wealth gap, how are we the ones who are contributing to other people's success in America when we dead last? And do others contribute to our success equally? Let's keep going.
If I lend to the financial uplifting of that community.
My bad. Prime example. Kim Kardashian, Ray J. Who benefited the most off that film? Ray J or Kim? See what I'm saying? If you look at it, who the hell was Kim before that sex tape came out? Her access to black sex done made her a multi-millionaire. They was already wealthy. You see that? They already had money. And I'm pretty sure Ray J had a nice stash on him, but nowhere close to them. And he didn't benefit nowhere close to how they benefited. After she left him, she went to Kanye, benefited some more. And then it went in and went in. Now the whole family benefits off of black success, access to black sex. Let's keep riding.
One, that's one thing. Two, if I'm helping to educate the people in that particular community, that's a benefit.
Does not your white woman benefit more from your economics than any black person?
Yeah, probably.
Exactly.
So why can't they both be mutually beneficial?
You want to know why? Because she belongs to the group that is responsible for the historical oppression of your race. So why would you voluntarily go over and marry into that? Because when you marry the woman, you don't just marry the woman or date the woman. You're dating her community and her culture. And given the history of us and them, why would you dare align yourself with that if you care about us?
Let me ask you a question. I want you to let me get my answers out.
Go ahead.
So hypothetically, if you're in one tribe, I'm in another tribe. That tribe is responsible for killing some people in your family.
Okay.
We're gonna keep it right here. You're a Crip, I'm a Blood.
Okay.
You're responsible for killing some of my people for the last 30, 40 years. I'm responsible for killing some of your people for the last 30, 40 years. I'm gonna judge you because you're a Blood or you're a Crip based on all of the shit that your peoples and your crew did for the last 30, 40 years.
Well, my Latino friend, I'm gonna break it down like this. So here's the problem. Like I mentioned, Kim Kardashian and Ray J. Kim was already sitting on wealth. Like majority of white T America, they already have a foundation of wealth underneath them that they inherited from slavery. That's the issue. So as a successful black man, you're going to come in and you're going to help out somebody who already has a foundation of wealth underneath them. And you're going to continue to spread this wealth gap even further. Share that with the same white T folks who enslaved you and profited off of it. See, that's the only problem. The only problem is we enhance them even further. So after we get done dealing with them, they don't went up 3 more notches. Not only did they already have wealth, but now they have the status. Before, they didn't have the status. They weren't famous. No one knew of them. Usually what happens is whoever we're associated with, they become popular. Like the girl, I'm on her ass right now this whole week, y'all. Hey, y'all go check out my last video. I'm on this little whole ass. Ruby Rose. Who the is Ruby Rose? So I was watching the Jason Lee interview the other day, and they were talking about how they feel about Ruby Rose because she came out and said something about DDG making her do OnlyFans. And if you know anything about Ruby Rose, most people don't. She's of mixed ethnicity. She's half Japanese and she's half Eastern African. And those two combinations do not scream nigga. They don't scream black American culture. They're of the black diaspora other than Japanese, but they're not black American culture. And if you know anything about Africans, it's a 50-50 with them. You don't know if they really rock with black Americans or if they're against black Americans. You got to roll the dice. So judging to where they moved to Kentucky, which is only 7.8% black Americans. And that means you're not living amongst the culture like that. The black American culture is not strong in Kentucky. And this is where she lived for 15 years of her life. But coincidentally, when she moved to Atlanta, which is a higher population of black people where the black American culture is strong, that's where she found herself. And that's when she got the status. That's when she got the access and proximity to black success and sex. That's when she blew up. So we really don't know what her talent is for real. All we know is once she started dating a couple people, her name started trending. Access to black sex. Let's continue. Now, has Ruby Rose gave black Americans any benefits from dating her?
Or am I going to judge you based on who you are?
I understand your analysis, but here's where I disagree with your analysis. Although your white girlfriend, and possibly probably none of her family owned a slave, you understand?
They're from Portugal.
Hung an African. They're from Portugal. Although the Portuguese were some of the first ones in the slave trade.
The very
absolutely. They built most of the dungeons in Africa.
Sure did.
So I know she got racism in her veins because of the Portuguese role in the slave trade. But anyhow, let's say her family was exempt from all of that.
No, that's true. The Portuguese were pivotal in the slave trade.
What's not fair? They was the first ones in the shit. You can't go the fuck out of here with this shit.
No, that's true. No, that's true.
You know why I like that?
Hey, Joey has it. Joseph, he ain't going for it.
Go ahead.
It was the shit in the 1400s. The Portuguese 1400s.
Stop. I want him to go.
They built the first fucking dungeons.
Slaves was picked up.
I'm a cracker. I'm going to crack.
Go ahead. I know where you're going to go.
I'm going to crack you. I want you to finish.
Now,
I'm going to crack
I'm
you.
gonna crack you.
No, you're not.
You're not
Because
gonna
your money
crack
happened.
dog.
Listen,
I know.
No, Diddy. Pause.
the reason you should not be with her.
I want you to finish your
I'm going
point.
to finish. I'm going to finish.
I'm going to crack
This
your
where I
muffin
was.
too. Go ahead.
The reason you have no business being with a Caucasian woman is although she nor her family may have participated in our oppression directly, she benefits from it. Every white person benefits from the enslavement of blacks. Every white person benefits from the marginalization of black folks. Every white person benefits from every...
And I done met some little white T-hoes. They cool as hell. They my dogs for real. See what I'm saying? But at the same token, You got to look at the bigger picture now. Like let's keep it player. You see what I'm saying? Let's keep it P a little bit.
Handicap that has been introduced into our community. And I'm quite sure she, like every other white person, has done nothing to level the playing field.
Should we have that same disdain for the Africans that sold us?
What has Kim Kardashian done for the black community? What has Ruby Rose done for the black community? And many others who benefited off of black men's success, what have they gave back to the community or those men to make sure that they keep going up the ladder, even after dealing with them?
Listen to into the slave trade?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
That's a great question.
That continued.
May I answer?
Oh, no, whoa,
That
no,
continued
no.
to
May
I answer?
No, you've been talking. I want to go. Yo, you are a
answer?
You are a Pan-Africanist, and you push that we should go back to Africa. No?
You're wrong again.
No, that's not.
I'm going to clarify. The most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey said, quote, "The only people we want in Africa are those who are willing to do something good for Africa."
Gotcha.
Most of you are no good right here in New York City.
True indeed.
And will damn well be no good in
And be
Africa.
pieces of shit in Africa.
There was never a back to Africa movement. Only those who wanted to go back and build should go.
So this is the only thing I don't like, where me and Dr. Umar kind of part ways. We also part ways because I believe in cracking some of these other races. They gonna have to get this Pan-African dick, but this Pan-African dick is probably the only thing that's Pan-African. My mind ain't. And the reason is because he only wants to check white tea folks, but we also got to check these people who's coming in from other parts of the world. I'm talking about islanders, people from Africa. Because what you notice is when they come here, they assimilate to white tea America. They assimilate to being white tea. And they're very prejudiced against black Americans. So Dr. Umar wants to create this whole thing where we're all one. I'm from Miami. And I can tell you front hand and plus, I'm half Caribbean. I'm half FBA, foundationally black American. And on my mama's side, I'm Caribbean. But my daddy was in my life. And I can tell you, they think sideways about us. And the whole thing about it is the agenda. So when they come to America, if it's a Caribbean person or Islander person, they come here with an agenda, which is to better their life because where they're coming from is trash. But in order to do that here, they have to assimilate with white tea policies and rules, and they have to follow that. Us as black Americans, we're more like, man, we've been fighting this cracker for a minute. We ready to go hand for hand, blow for blow. Prime example is on my FBA side, we have more of an entrepreneur spirit, entrepreneur mindset. My Caribbean side looks at that as lazy, or we don't want to work, or we don't want to work hard. We're not, you know what I'm saying? They got some slick shit to say about how we think about how our America should be ran. So that's the only thing that I disagree with Dr. Umar on is we have to understand that everybody has different agendas. We just can't assume just because they got dark skin like us that they on our side for real. Got to keep it playing.
Oh, could you imagine me coming to New York or New Jersey with a big ship, a Noah's Ark, and put every Negro you know, Flip, and take them to Africa with their white girlfriends, they video games, they weaves, they perms, they Air Jordans. Africa got enough problems as she is now. Last thing Africa needs is a bunch of post-traumatic slavery disease Negroes coming back home without their right African mind.
Get them Chinese, get that Chinese government out there too.
Bro,
now, do you want me to answer his question?
No, you could. I'm back on you.
Now, you said, shouldn't we hate the Africans who participated in the slave trade? I want you to show me one country in Africa today that benefits right now from the fact we was enslaved.
You're moving the goalpost.
I'm not moving the goalpost. No, I'm not.
You are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Stop.
No, I'm not.
Stop. You said Portuguese people or the Portuguese, and I'm agreeing with you. They were some of the pioneers of this bullshit. I'm agreeing with you. Stop. I'm agreeing.
And they're not done. Can I ask you a question?
Bro,
Can I ask you a question? Who colonized Brazil?
You're not letting me
Who
finish.
colonized Brazil?
Portuguese.
Who still controls Brazil?
Portuguese.
I made my fucking point.
True. I'm not.
Today they still running
That don't matter.
Brazil is the largest population of black people outside of
In the
Africa.
world.
And what are they flipped?
True.
Portuguese.
I didn't know that.
Fuck he's saying.
I didn't know that.
They run the
Brazil has
shit
the
down.
biggest black
They run the
population in the
shit
world.
down.
And the reason why is
This
because
ain't
they
Texas,
established.
bitch.
Too many black people that don't want to go with me to Brazil when I say that, for that to be
No.
There's more
It's the
of
biggest-
us in
yeah,
Brazil than any
than
country
anywhere.
on earth outside of
That's
Nigeria.
crazy.
Right. 1,000% right.
Brazil is black.
So let me ask you this: Imani's question to you was, should we hold the same contempt?
And I answered his question.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Well, let me answer it. I gave him.
Let me ask it. Let me ask it, please.
Hold on.
Yeah, no, you owe them.
Hold on. The difference is, no African country benefits today from the slave trade. And I would even argue that the benefit that they did have for participating in it was minimal. Because right after slavery ended, what happened next? Colonization. Mm-hmm. They came into Africa and enslaved you.
See, look, the Africans who stay in Africa, they're not the issue. It's the motherfuckers who come over here and they had to assimilate to YT society and they start taking on these ideologies. Them the issues. The Africans who stay there and they're trying to build and fix what they got going on, I'll rock with you. You see, you my dog for real because you get it. But the ones who come over here and they're trying to basically not replace us, but try to talk down, belittle us to make themselves feel like they're bigger than us when they didn't contribute to what we've done to America. See what I'm saying?
In your own land. But here's what I want you to understand, which I think you know anyway. The transatlantic slave trade, what we call the Ma'afa, was a European enterprise. They built it, they ran it, they benefited from it, they expanded it. It was not an African-controlled enterprise.
Right.
There were some Africans involved.
Participated.
Absolutely, but that was minimal compared to the grandiosity of the scheme
the
itself.
biggest business in the world.
You understand what I'm saying?
I asked the
so the difference is the Portuguese are still exploiting us in Brazil. You understand?
Even if they're not directly.
Not only Brazil, Angola is Portuguese.
Right.
Mozambique is
Angola.
Portuguese.
Right.
They still exploiting us to this day.
True. Let me ask you
And
this.
what is your white girlfriend doing about the exploitation of Africans in Brazil, Mozambique, and Angola?
Nothing.
I didn't think so.
Let me ask you this.
My nigga.
Let me ask you this. No. I'm not going to ask you this.
Can we switch gears?
My question is this. What the fuck are 97% of the black people doing about the exploitation of black people worldwide?
Don't do that.
Ah, nigga, whatever. Y'all, whatever. Little cracker white boy, whatever you mix with. So I'm going to say this. Listen, man. I don't care who you date. I don't care if it's a white tea girl, if it's a culture girl. What we need to set up as blacks, we need to set up some type of insurance policy. Like, we need to put together like a deposit, you know, just to cover our back end. So if you're a white tea girl, you want to date a nigga, you got to put me in your family will. Yeah, I want to be inside the family will. Or if you of another culture, ethnicity group, and you want to date black, let me hold $1,000 first. Let me hold $1,000. And if we break up, give me another $1,000. So $2,000 for the coverage and damage of emotional damage and the benefits that you probably got off of me. This is the only way that I feel like we could actually intermingle with other cultures and races is if there's an insurance plan where we get to capitalize as well too. We have to guarantee that we get to capitalize. That's the only way I think it's going to work. Other than that, that's it for the day. I hope y'all, enjoyed the segment. Like I said before, my bad. Like I said before, if you guys want to support the channel, go ahead and hit that description box down below. Like and subscribe, share our content. Until next time, I'm out. People to a different stage.